I have a question for you guys. Okay. When you wake up in the morning, how do you feel? And be honest. How do you feel? What mood do you wake up in? Go ahead and drop it in the chat. When you wake up in the morning, what mood do you wake up in? There might be a delay. Anybody care to share? Happy, blessed, okay. Very often overwhelmed. Thank you for being honest, Cindy. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else? Excited? Where to start first? Always wake up happy and ready to go. Grateful for the day. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Those are all amazing things, but this is one thing that I want you to start considering. And it might be something that you need to meditate on before you go to sleep the night before. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to start feeling powerful, okay? I want you to wake up with power because when you have power, you can conquer so many things. Now, being happy and grateful, yes, that is a part of having power, commanding your day, right? But when you wake up feeling powerful, then you are able to overcome so many other things. You are able to set your mind on so many other things. You are able to set your mood on so many great things for the day, okay? So I want you to start thinking, yeah, happy's great. Grateful is amazing, right? But I want you to wake up with power. Why? Because God gave you dominion here on this earth, okay? And you have the power within you. So why not wake up with that same feeling of feeling powerful so you can be happy, so you can be grateful, so you can overcome whatever is making you feel overwhelmed, so you can overcome whatever's stressing you out throughout the day, so you can overcome any adversity that decides to come your way. Because see, no matter what decides to come your way, no matter what decides to enter your space, even if it's trying to come against your purpose, the beauty in knowing that you are powerful, that you'll be able to blow right through it. You'll be able to blow right past it. So definitely start. And I actually, if you have a pen and paper right now, I want you to wake up. I want you to write down that you are going to wake up powerful. I am so happy and grateful now that I am powerful, that I have the power within me to conquer the day, to choose my mood, to accomplish what it is that I want to accomplish. So definitely write that down, okay? And then just to segue into being happy, you have to be happy with what you have while in pursuit of what you want, right? So I'm so glad that so many people wrote down that they are happy. I love that. But it wasn't enough people that said that, right? We have 30 people on this call. There was probably a handful that said that they were happy. So I would have to challenge you as well. Do you possibly think that you are going to get what it is that you want if you aren't happy with what you have? When we talk about, when you hear us say our rich friends, super rich, that means something different to me, right? That means I want people around me that are rich in mind, rich in spirit, right? Not just rich in finances. The money's going to come. And how do you become rich in spirit? By definitely being happy while you are on the pursuit to go after what it is that you are here to achieve. So, you want to make sure that you wake up powerful. If you did not wake up feeling powerful today, write down, I am so happy and grateful now that I am powerful. Okay. And then if you were somebody that did not write down that you were happy, I want you to write down, I'm so happy and grateful now that I can just be so happy and grateful. And if you're saying, well, Jasmina, I don't have anything to be happy for. Well, Jasmina, there's so much things going around. Well, Jasmina, you don't know my life. You can't possibly think that I can be happy. Sure, I can. Sure, I can. And the reason why I can say that is because everything you have right now is all that you need. If you don't have it, you didn't need it. So you have to be happy with the fact that you have what it is that you need. It's like, okay, if somebody was to give you If you needed $200 and somebody had the ability, somebody you knew and loved had the ability to give you $200, two $100 bills, right? But they chose to only give you one, how would that make you feel? How would that make you feel? You would probably be thinking, well, man, I know, or they know that I need the $200. Why would they only give me one? You automatically start focusing on what you are missing instead of focusing on the fact that you still gained something, right? You start focusing on, man, how can they do me like that? They know that I need it. They have it. They don't need it. Instead of saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I was able to get the 100. But guess what? Guess what? What if that person gave you the 100 and said, I can show you how you can get the additional 100? See, a lot of us want things to be handed to us. A lot of us look at the lack that we have and say, well, how come somebody didn't give it to me? A lot of us look at what we're missing or what others may have that we think that they should be able to bless us with and say, why won't they just give it to me, right? Instead of really looking at the fact that you were equipped with the $100, you were equipped with the skills, you're halfway there, and all you have to do is just take the other 50% effort to get what it is that you need. It's like being in this opportunity. How come I don't have so many people joining my business? Man, my sponsor knew I was 2 away from that next rank. How come they couldn't just give them to me? Man, my sponsor knows that I'm not able to fund my account. They have the money. How come they won't just, give me $10, $20, $50, How come my sponsor won't do the presentation for me? But guess what? You've already been handed that $100. You need to, but you've been given the $100. What is half of what it is that I'm talking about? You've been given the tools to be able to get your own 2 people to hit that next rate. You've been given the tools to be able to multiply that money and not have to look for a handout. You've been given the tools, right? To be able to get to that full 100%. So next time you need something and you focus on only having what you feel like isn't the full 100%, you have to remember you already have the full 100%. You may not be able to touch it yet, but you can see it. You may not have it in your pocket, but you have the means to get it, right? So we can't get upset when we feel like, man, we're shortchanged. You're not shortchanged. You just have to work a little harder and see what the skill was that you need to use in order for you to get that full 100%. In this opportunity, you have already been given 50. Now, what are you going to do to go after that additional 50? You can't go through life thinking that you're supposed to get handouts. Just because somebody has it doesn't mean that it's meant for them to give it to you. Because when people just hand you things, then it misses the purpose of you being able to be equipped to know how to handle it once you get it, right? If we always get handouts, if we always get things handed to us, if we get people put in our business, if we get money just thrown at us, you will never know what it took in order to get it. So what does that mean? You won't be able to sustain it. You won't be able to lead those people. You won't be able to know what to do in order to multiply that money. Why? Because you didn't have to earn it. You didn't have to put down that 10-cent lot size in order to grow it to that account that you wanted until you could put down a bigger lot size. So be so happy and grateful now in what you have and the pursuit that we are all going through in order to get what it is that we want, okay? Everything that you have, everything that you need, you have already inside of you. You already have around you. If you needed it, God would have provided it for you. But then we also have to be careful that we do not discount the blessing because of the package of the blesser, right? So you never know if your actual blessing can't come your way because you were looking at the package. Because you were thinking, well, man, this isn't how I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be given to me instead of actually somebody giving me the tools to obtain it. That's the blessing. The fact that you have the knowledge and the skill and the insight where other people don't even have that, that's the blessing. So do not discount the blessing because of how the blesser is being presented to you, right? So the next thing that I want to go ahead and say is you have to be hungry. You have to be hungry, okay? You have to be hungry. You have to be so hungry that you can make something happen. How many people on this call, if you are hungry, you haven't gone grocery shopping, you're in the refrigerator looking like, okay, I could throw a little bit of this together. I could throw a little bit of that together. I could make a casserole. Like I can make something shake, right? Why? Because I'm hungry. See, we do whatever's necessary to be able to fill our physical bodies, but how hungry are you to be able to fulfill your success goals? Are you willing to pull from the resources that you currently have in order to make something shake? Or are you sitting here thinking, well, I don't have what it is that I need, so I can't possibly feed my goals. I can't possibly be successful. But guess what? That means you're not hungry enough. Because when you're hungry, you're going to find something. I don't know about you, back in the day when I was hungry, I didn't always have the luxury of going to a full fridge. What did that mean? I may have eaten bread and butter. I may have, and I still to this day, I'm not even knocking Top Ramen. People think it's disgusting, but for some reason I like it, even though I can afford other stuff. But at the end of the day, when I was hungry, I grabbed whatever was in the fridge. So how hungry are you for your success? How hungry are you to go after your goals? If you can't currently pull from the resources that you have right now and stop waiting for things to look perfect, then you're not hungry enough. You have the important ingredients. You are not hungry enough. So that means because of your inability to be able to do that, your goals are starving. Your success is starving because you are in the way because you're not hungry enough in order to feed them in order to feed them inside of you. Right? So, how hungry are you? Right? If you have a pen and paper, I want you to write that down too. That's a question. How hungry are you? And the reason why I say that is because if you were hungry, you would do whatever was necessary. You would do whatever was necessary. If there's an event and you had to catch the bus in order to get there, you had to humble yourself. Who cares you couldn't catch a plane? You had to catch the bus in the middle of COVID. God, please plead the blood over me. You're not hungry enough. If you haven't sacrificed something else that really isn't necessary, like a cell phone bill or that Starbucks, right? Or eating out when you can really eat in. If you haven't sacrificed that in order to fund your trade account or pay your monthly, you're not hungry enough. If you haven't sacrificed the time that you spend watching TV, the time that you spend saying, oh, well, it's just a weekend. I want to go out with my friends. It's just my birthday. I want to have fun. You're not hungry enough. Can you go a day without eating? Technically, yes, you can. Should you? No, unless you're fasting for spiritual reasons because God feels you. That's a whole nother story. But at least once a day, right? You're going to eat something. So why do you allow your goals to go hungry for days without feeding them at least one? See, when you take breaks and you don't make those sacrifices, you're not feeding your goals. When you take a break because you think something else is more important and a day goes by, your goals and your success is starving on that day. And guess what? One day turns into two, 2 days turn into three, 3 days turn into four. Why? Because you felt like something else was important. But again, when you're hungry, you eat. You try not to go a day without eating. So why do you starve your success and your goals day in and day out, right? And I'm not saying everybody on this call, but God is leading me this way. So I really truly believe I'm talking to a good few on this call, because this isn't even in my notes. How many people on this call have made the decision, I'm not going to leave until I get everything that I came for? Not halfway, not 20%, not 75%, not even 99.999%. How many people on this call is saying, I am not leaving here until I get everything that it has to offer me? Put a fire emoji in the chat if that is you. 100%. 100%. Because guess what? Anything less than 100 can be done somewhere else. So why waste your time in a place that you're not trying to achieve the full 100%? Anything less than 100 can be done anywhere else. Right? I can make an income that's less than 100. Just in income is less than 100. Just in income to pay my bills, that's less than 100. I can go get a job for that. Right? But that's still less than 100 for me. Why? Because that income isn't going to retire my entire family. That income isn't going to build shelters for battered women, which is my passion. That income is not going to allow me to still be able to retire my family, build shelters for battered women, and on top of that, travel the world and have to stay out of a job. That's less than 100. But guess what? It'll suffice, right? So question, who on this call is not leaving here until you get the full 100%? How do you know what the full 100% is? When you are able to accomplish every single thing that was put in your mind. And guess what? Don't discount the ideas that were given to you. They were given to you for a reason. If you had the ability to think of it, to dream of it, to see it in the spiritual, then that means it can be yours. So what does that also mean? That you can't just say, well, that sounded nice, but it's not going to happen. No, because it can happen. You just have to make sure that you are going to go after the full 100%. You did not think of that dream, that idea, any one of those 5 reasons why by coincidence nor by accident. That has to do with your purpose. And we are all here to live out what our purpose is here on this earth. So you can't just think of your 5 reasons why, your goals and your dreams just as that. They're just dreams. They're just something that could happen. No, the fact that you even had the idea of it, the fact that I know everybody on this call has seen at least one person in this opportunity that has what it is that they're trying to go after, that has done something that they want to do, that has obtained something that you are trying to obtain. At least one person. So what does that mean? The fact that you actually thought of it first, God put you in the arena to see somebody who actually achieved it, means that that portion is yours too. But you won't get there if you settle for even 99.99999%. Full 100. Full 100. Right? So I just want to leave us with this last thing. And we talk about this all the time. How are we going to go after what it is that we want and go after that full 100%, to not starve our goals, to not starve our success? Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion. And we do talk about it all the time. But do you really believe in the power of autosuggestion, right? Autosuggestion, when faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind picks up that vibration. I'm going to say that again. When faith is blended with the vibration of thoughts, the subconscious mind picks up on that vibration. Auto-suggestion, repetition, faith, definite plans, repetition, faith, definite plans. Put that in the chat. Repetition, faith, definite plans, repetition, faith, definite plans when it comes to going after your goals. Repetition in making sure that you're doing it daily, making sure that you're speaking it daily, making sure that you are seeing it daily. Faith, believing that it is going to happen for you, believing that it is already happening, believing that it is already yours, believing that you can already touch it. Definite plans. Now, moving towards that goal, setting a schedule. How many people on this call actually reached out to their chairman upline to set their schedule for the month? That's definite plans. Repetition, faith, definite plans. Auto-suggestion, when faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind picks up on that vibration. Any thought that repeats will be accepted by the subconscious mind, and you will act on it. It becomes an impulse. Let me also put this into perspective, right? Think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where, let's just say, okay, let's think of it like this, like a criminal, right? Or doing anything bad. Oftentimes, at first, you may feel like this is something that's bad, right? Lying, cheating, stealing, whatever the case is. But if you find yourself in that environment enough, you start getting numb to it. You start becoming jaded. Then you start accepting it, right? You start accepting it as normal. Why? Because you were in the situation, you saw it enough, you've seen other people do it to where now you're accepting it, although you shouldn't be. Why? Because you started out knowing that that wasn't something that was right? But you became comfortable. You saw it repeatedly. You heard people talk about it repeatedly. You were in that environment repeatedly. So then you start becoming subjected to whatever it is that they are doing. And now you start to believe that it is something that is okay. It's not that bad. Same thing goes for things positive in your life. If you speak things enough, if you're around people enough, if you see things enough, you start adapting to that as being normal. It's kind of like when people are born into rich families, right? They don't know anything else. So their environment is normal to them. Why? Because they see it repeatedly. They hear it repeatedly. They're around it repeatedly. So anything else just isn't the norm for them. It's not their life. So you have to start being like that. You have to be careful because, like I alluded to in the beginning or of this whole auto suggestion thing, if you find yourself in a bad situation but you stay in that environment, you see it enough, you hear it enough, you're going to start thinking that it's normal. You're going to start thinking that the poverty mindset is normal. You're going to start thinking that unethical business is probably normal. You're going to start thinking it's okay if I tell a little lie, that that's normal. You're going to start thinking as long as I just have this, then I'm okay, that that's normal. No. How do you change that? You start seeing and hearing and being around the things that you want to see in your life. And guess what? You have no choice but to now act on it as impulse. Why? Because it's normal. It's as normal as the day you started to walk, which was not normal at the beginning. It's as normal as the day you really started driving a car, which was not normal to you in the beginning. It's as normal to you as the first day you started playing, let's say playing an instrument, which was not normal to you. But what happens? Repetition allowed that to become normal in your life. Same thing with success. You're around it enough. You hear it enough. You speak it enough. It now becomes second nature. You believe it as second nature. Like, how could I think anything else? Right? Auto suggestion, very, very, very important. The last thing I want to say is that your thoughts need to become emotionalized and accompanied by faith. Emotionalized. How do you feel about your goals? Do they tug at your heart? Do they tug at your very being, every fiber inside of you? If it does not, then we need to rethink those goals. Your thoughts towards your goals should become emotionalized. And I don't mean as far as like bad emotions. I'm talking in the sense of, when you get emotional, you start acting. You might even do some stuff that may seem irrational, right? Some people might think you're a little crazy if you get too emotionally attached to something. But if you start to emotionalize your goals and your thoughts, you never know that energy that's going to get inside of you, where people might say, Jasmina's a little crazy how hard she's going after her goals. Javon, he's a little crazy how hard he's going after his success. Gloria's a little crazy for how hard she is believing for what it is that we can't even see. That's when you know that you are on the right track, because you accompany those emotions of your goals and your thoughts by faith. You're unstoppable. Not by people, but by faith. You're unstoppable. When you don't attach it to people and things, but it's more so internal, you're unstoppable. And then it starts to become second nature, where no one can tell you anything different. So to wrap this up, I went over, I know I was probably all over the place, but everything was on my heart. So I wanted to get it out. If you caught value, put some value in the chat. I just want to go over what I went over. You have to be happy with what you have while in pursuit of what you want. You have to wake up powerful. I am powerful, because power can overcome anything. Power can overcome any sadness. Power can overcome any defeat. Power in the mind, especially, can overcome any obstacle, because you will find a way, right? You have to be hungry, just like your physical body gets hungry and you feed it. Even if you don't have anything, you make up something in order to feed your body. You have to have that same thought process when it comes to your success. And every day you do not go after your goals, you're starving them. And you wouldn't do that to your body, right? But guess where your goals live? Inside of you. You also have to make sure that you are definitely taking to heart the power of autosuggestion. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subconscious mind picks up on that vibration, repetition, faith, and definite plans. If you can make a promise to me and to yourself, if you haven't reached out to your chairman upline and you're going to do it today to schedule out your month, put a 2 in the chat for me. This is accountability. This is what we're here for. If you didn't want anybody holding you accountable, then you could have did this on your own. But guess what? You have us and me. So this is accountability. Put a 2 in the chat. If you haven't reached out to your chairman upline, but you're going to do it today to go over your calendar for the week or for the month, put a 2. Put a 2. So I have 2 people. This may not be for everybody, but those that are going to give it 100%, put into action that definite plan, then this is for you. And I promise it'll definitely help you. Javon, it's on you.